The other day, you spoke out in favor of a statement made by the president's EPA that they were going to go ahead and regulate greenhouse gases. Is that a fallback position for the administration if they don't get this legislation, or is that something that should happen on top of what may come out of the Congress?
I think the administration is using that as a club or a whip or a goad to make the House and the Senate act on this legislation. A bill can be written. And if you're willing to take a slightly gradualist approach, we can get a bill fairly quickly, and a pretty good one. That'll mean that we'll have to do other things.
Mr. Chairman, what would a gradual bill look like?
Oh, I'd rather you would know it when you saw it.
Okay.
It's like beauty. And I want to commend Chairman Waxman and the administration. They come out and said, we've got to have one single standard. This legislation should be done on the basis of compromise and conciliation and cooperation. If you do that, the system works. If you don't, you're headed for trouble. We're the only country in the world that doesn't have it. Germany got it under Bismarck in the 1880s. England under King Edward VII in 1907. We almost got it under a famous creeping socialist by the name of Teddy Roosevelt in 1912. We almost did it in 1935. Well, the upshot of it was that we're now finally getting ready to address the question. Michigan produces less cars than Ontario does now. Why? It costs about $4 an hour less to make a car in Ontario because of the fact of cars. And folks say, well, GM is an auto producer, but it ain't. GM is a company that provides health care and makes cars to pay for it. And when you look out the window and you look at one of those nice American cars out there, there's $750 worth of steel in it and $1,600 worth of health care.
When you and Mrs. Dingell celebrate New Year's Eve, do you believe that the president will have signed an energy bill, a health care bill, both or neither?
I think he will have signed both, and I intend to do my level best to see to it happens, particularly because if we don't get a health care bill this year, we won't get one. Yogi Berra one time said, it's very hard to prophesy when you don't know the future. And frankly, President Obama has said he doesn't want a bankruptcy in these areas. And very frankly, a bankruptcy will carry with it some awful consequences.
Mm-hmm. Chairman, I'm going to ask you a tough question. A year from now, how many of the big three do you think we'll have?
We'll have two, or we may very well have three.
The first to go would be Chrysler.
Maybe. I would say a logical person would come to the conclusion that it would be Chrysler would be the first to go.